Hello everyone and welcome to another high elo game of Age of Empires. Today we're sitting in a tin can far above the world looking down to watch Mr. Yo playing as the Incas in red get ready to take on Hera playing as the Khmer or the Khmer in blue. Now while the players herd their herdables explore their immediate surroundings with scouts and with the game's most adorable animal, the sheep, and try to go up to feudal as fast as possible, let's take a look at the civ matchup we'll be watching today. Now, the Incas are a quintessential counter civilization. Is your opponent going cavalry? Well, you can counter with the Kamayuk, a ranged infantry unit that carries a very, very long spear, comes with a massive attack bonus against cavalry units. Now, will your opponent go infantry? You can rely on your second unique unit, the Slinger. This is an archer unit that comes with a pretty big attack bonus against infantry. Now, is your opponent going archer units? You can rely on your skirmishers, which not only get all archery range, blacksmith, and university upgrades, but can be upgraded even more to get no minimum range, zero minimum range, which takes away one of the biggest weaknesses of skirmishers on the whole. Now, to make the Incan army even tankier on the field of battle, the Incas can upgrade their Kamayuks, their Slingers, and their Eagle Warriors to get extra melee and pierce armor. Now, to help build and support the Incan military industrial complex, their military units cost less and less food as the game goes on. 15% cheaper in Dark Age, 30% cheaper in Imperial. They do start the game, if you noticed, underneath the town center with a free llama, which may not sound like much, but does give you an extra unit to scout with, or just 100 extra food to start the game with. Their buildings cost 15% less stone. Their houses support 10 population space instead of 5, which is why you'll see Mr. Yo has 25% population space available compared to the usual 15 at this stage of the game. And their villagers are much harder to raid because starting in Castle Age, they do benefit from infantry blacksmith upgrades, and BT dubs, they get all infantry blacksmith upgrades. Now across the grasslands to the south, we've got Hera playing as the Khmer, a civilization that focuses on some of the heaviest hitting units in the game. Their scorpions have extra range, can be upgraded to shoot a second bolt. Their battle elephants move faster and can be upgraded to hit even harder with a +3 attack boost. Did he manage to get 3 arrows off on this boar? Wow, fascinating. Not something you generally see. 3 shots. Does mean the villager will take a bit of a pounding, though. And their unique unit, quite possibly one of the hardest, most annoying units to deal with head-on, the ballista elephant, which, as it sounds, is an elephant with a giant ballista mounted on its back that can also be upgraded to shoot a second bolt. Now, in order to take advantage of these bonuses, upgrades, features, the Khmer have to get their butts up to Castle Imperial ASAP with a lot of food in the bank. So to help them do this, they do come with a few pretty radical features. And when I say radical, I mean in the 1990 sense of radical. Yeah, those of you who grew up in the 90s know what I mean. First, the Khmer do not need any structures to go up to the next age, meaning as long as you have the resources, you can go up. You don't need to build anything. Second, all buildings in your age are available once you hit that age. No prerequisite whatsoever, which means you do not need a barracks to build a stable. And lastly, their farmers do not need to bring any food to a town center or a mill. As long as a farmer is tilling the fields, it automatically adds food to the stockpile at the top right of our screen. I'll show that to you once Hera plops down, or rather seeds, to be, use a more professional term, his first farm. And by the way, because they don't have to drop off anything at a mill or a town center, it basically means if Hera wants to, he could literally put a farm right here and it will work as well as any farm placed right next to a town center. Now, Khmer villagers are themselves harder to raid because they can actually garrison inside their houses, and once the danger has passed, they can come out and get their butts back to work. Those are our two civilizations. These are our two players who, off the back of different villager counts, are heading up to Feudal Age at the exact same time. It does look like Hera has about a 1 second advantage over Mr. Yo with 1 extra villager. We'll see what he decides to do with that 1 second advantage time. Let's take a look at their bases, their resources, see what we're working with, rather what the players are working with and what we're observing. Primary gold for Hera, kind of off to the side, but in a bit of a forward position. Talking about forward position, speaking of forward position, this stone is very exposed to the front, and he's got a bit of additional resources here, 1 to the left of his base and 2 patches to the right, very far off campus. Mr. Yo, whose base has now been discovered by Hera, at least the periphery sees the villager heading over to build something. He's got a hammer in his hand, so Hera must know. Mr. Yo, primary gold nice and secure in the back. Primary stone nice and secure in the back. Secondary resources. Looks like in a bit of a triangle shape all around, all across his base. Immediately a archery range going down for our Inca, while economic upgrades are being researched for our Khmer, who, oh, look at that act of largesse, returns a stolen sheep, because Hera don't play that to make another 1990s reference. Let me know if you know where that reference is from. If you are, man, oh man, your back probably hurts, just like mine. In any event, Hera still with a 1 villager lead. Let's see what he's going for. We see a stable. Do you see a barracks anywhere on the map? No, you do not, which is why you know you're watching a Khmer player. Slaughters the last of his sheep, tries to trap the Eagle Scout. Unfortunately for him, Eagle Scout runs very much away, and Mr. Yo is getting the same economic upgrades that Hera got right when he hit Feudal. Army counts 3-2. What are we working with? 1 spear, 1 scout, 1 archer against 2 scouts. So take a look at the food count at the top right of your screen where my mouse is. You see how it's going up 1 increment, 26, 27, 28, 29, 30. That is the super duper cool, powerful feature of the Khmer. And it does make their Hussar spam at the end of the game, or rather in the later stages of the game, super powerful. Mr. Yo moves out at the exact same time as Hera moves in on his base. There's nothing left here to defend. Ooh. Gets a few whacks off at that villager and decides to back away, seeing the spearman. I wonder why he decided to back away. It's only 1 spearman, and he's got 3 scouts here. Mr. Yo's scout. Speaking of scouts, oh, he bites the dust. First kill goes to Hera and his scout cavalry. Not too sure if this is the OG one he started the game with, or if this is one that he trained. But Mr. Yo has now discovered that there's going to be really not much that he can do here. Hera's going to just run away, jump into these houses probably if he, Mr. Yo puts on any kind of aggression. But look at Hera dodging around the scout, using the maneuverability and speed of these units. Speaking of that, there was a very interesting Reddit post that I saw, and look at that, they're in the house. Now, the one thing I will say before jumping into the Reddit post that I mentioned, they don't heal up once they're inside the house, so he has to be very careful. They're not villagers that are inside a town center or anything like that. They do not heal, so their HP is basically stuck at what it is. So Hera's strategy here of poking them out and using them to attack these units is great, except the more these units poke and prod, eventually the villagers will die. Anyway, what was I talking about? Reddit. There was a post recently by somebody who just didn't really think that the cumin speed bonus was very impressive. I think he called it boring. And he says that because it's such a small incremental speed difference in the later stages of the game, the feature is not really that great. And the community, the comments were very split on that, but I don't know. For me, anything that adds to the maneuverability of units in this game, to the ability of your army to just run circles around your opponent's army, even if it's only an extra 5% increment in speed, to me, that's a major, major boost. But I'm a caster. He was a player. Screw you, Bambi's mother, or I guess father. Do female deer have antlers? I'm not too sure. I think male deer have antlers, right? So I guess Bambi's father this time in an alternate universe where the mother survives and the father doesn't. Look at Mr. Yo here, by the way. While I was blabbing on about garbage, he is pulled Hera's army to the left at the same time as he's poking in through the right. These units already have 2 kills. A farmer lies dead in his field. A few more villagers stuck inside their house. What a brilliant move, but it comes at a cost. He loses his entire army to the west. But what a fantastic play out of Mr. Yo. And this is what I'm talking about. Maneuverability and tactics like this are what win you games, especially for players who really excel at early to mid game, like where we are now. Dark Ages, forget about Dark Age. Dark Age is a write-off. Mid-feudal to, let's say, early Castle Age is what I would call the earlier game. And maneuverability there is key. Ultimately, though, Mr. Yo does end up losing both army groups, and now a third army group, 2 archers and a scout come in. What are you? You are another archer. So he's going to have 4 archers and a scout here, Hera. Where is his army? His army is this one last remaining surviving scout of himself. Oh no, Mr. Yo runs face first into a bristly forest of skirmishers who immediately gun down one of his archers. I don't know where this eagle thinks he's going. He is outnumbered 7-1. I think that is bye-bye birdie for this guy. Oh, never mind. Decides to engage in with a scout. Okay. Mr. Yo is just losing way too much. Look at the kill count, 13-5. But it is Mr. Yo with that one villager, that one farmer whose carcass is still on the farm, who does have the only economic kill in the game. Now he's chasing these archer units away is Hera. You know, scout 16 HP, you have to be very, very careful here, because these archers can just stop on the high ground and probably just kill that scout with, what, 2 volleys? This scout has even less HP, 9 on the right side, but there's no army there for Mr. Yo, who is now ahead 4 villagers, attracts the attention of a wolf, immediately guns the wolf down. A horse says, I want no part of this. And both players heading up to castle. This time it's Hera with not a 1-second advantage, but looks like a 1.5-minute advantage. That's what happens when you go off the back of 4 fewer villagers. A fresh scout here will join in. Forget the scout of the opponent. He goes straight for the skirmishers. Not too sure that's the best play here. You know you're not going to survive. Might as well take out a few units along the way, no? But Hera here deciding not to engage. Okay, never mind. He does decide to engage. Are there any more eagles? There is one more eagle in production. The barracks is here to the right. Hera is walking straight into a unfortunate trap here. But does he care? 2 knights are what's on the menu for him. And where's this Eagle Scout? How long does it take to train this? Man, oh man. I bet you wish you had the Aztec's speedier training feature in addition to the Incan food. I mean, that's a silly point. I bet I wish, what am I trying to say? I bet everyone wishes they had all the best features of all the strongest civs, is what I'm trying to say. Which, you know, makes little to no sense, but that's the kind of stuff we talk about here at Cast of Empires. Mr. Yo still 30 seconds away from hitting Castle Age, loses his second last scout, and Hera here pulling a bit of a Hoang, hitting Castle Age immediately with a forward siege workshop. He wants to bust in, and there is a juicy target, the blacksmith. But Mr. Yo's in Castle Age now. What is he going to do? He's got 4 eagles right now. What are the upgrades on them? +1/+1. Oh, he's creating a secondary wall off. He is. So he's abandoning. This is the Titanic. He's closing up this dead compartment, letting it flood with blue units. Hera, are you going to go after the blacksmith, or is it going to take too long to tear it down? He's going after a house instead. Mr. Yo doesn't notice that a few of his palisade features are under attack here, or maybe notices a little too late. The skirmishers are already here. This is going to be so annoying for Mr. Yo to deal with. Incredibly annoying. What is the point of this battering ram destroying a house? I thought for sure he would go after the blacksmith. Now after the monastery, Mr. Yo getting the pike upgrade. He's got 5 spearmen in training, 6 eagles, 1 monk in production as well. He's still ahead in villager count, although there's 4 villagers here that are not really doing much. And now, oh no, Hera's broken in. Hera has broken in, immediately gets a villager kill, immediately gets another kill. These knights, oh goodness. They are also at a +1/+1. The ram is going to bust down this monastery. Interesting that Hera is choosing to engage into this army as opposed to using the speed of the knight. Did he? Oh, okay. Using the speed of the knight to go more to the back of the base, or to try to harass villagers up to at the top. Are we going to see a 24-minute game out of this? And I was also wondering why Hera's not attacking the monk that was trying to convert his knight, but that's because he was moving 5 skirmishers into position. Another monastery for Mr. Yo. His resources are not great at all. He's got sub 100 wood, which is confusing why he's placing another... Oh man, another mining camp there. Although he doesn't really need that 100 wood if he's just going pikeman. He's got enough wood to build more. I guess he needs more food. Now he's finally going after the blacksmith is Hera. He's busted his way in, but with the presence of these pikemen, what is it? +22, I believe. Attack bonus against cavalry. Yep. there is not going to be much that he can do on a head-on collision course, and the Eagles are going to zone out the skirmishers, which are now elite. And let's see, they're upgrade. No, they're not elite. Sorry, my goodness. No upgrades whatsoever. Right as I finish that sentence, +1 attack and range does close. Is he going to get this ram? I mean, it's doing a way too much damage here. He's moving out with his monk. He's going to try to convert. This is a risky move here for Mr. Yo. Loses the monk to a cav archer. Hera literally throwing the kitchen sink at his opponent. Anyone that can go on a horse. This is like that scene, reminds me, in Lord of the Rings, where was it Helm's Deep that was attacked, and there's that scene in the movie where everyone is conscripted. The little children are, you know, they put a helmet on the little kid as the sad music plays in the background. There's an old man who looks like he's about 95 years old. He looks like Blue from Old School. Gets a helmet put on. That is exactly what Hera is doing. Any man who can be on a horse is being trained right now. Cav archers, light cav, knights, although light cav are dead. So the monks should be a little bit more confident to come out for Mr. O, although he's only got one. Literally anything that can fit onto a horse is being trained for our Khmer. He does not want this game to go on longer than it has to. He wants to bust his way in here. Still, +1/+1 on the knights. Still. Oh no, never mind. He got the +2 on these cav archers. No armor upgrades on them whatsoever. That's a smart move. There's nothing really here that's going to... He's not really going to benefit from armor upgrades, honestly. The bonuses of these units and the high pierce armor of the eagle. Plus, they come with a decent small bonus attack against cavalry as well. So focusing instead on the damage output than the damage reduction. And uh-oh, will Hera lose a knight here? Why are they moving so slow? Why the hell were they moving so slow? Mr. Yo. I mean, how many times do I have to call this guy the king of holds? Second town center going up for him. Hera, the best player in the world, busted into his base with an army that should have absolutely wrecked what Mr. Yo had. Instead, Hera is kind of on the retreat a little bit. It might be a tactical retreat. It might be an attempt to get these cav archers closer to the monks so that they can snipe them. But Mr. Yo is doing a fantastic job. Hera in the back of this has gone up to 2 town centers, and Mr. Yo is raiding. Oh my god, at the same time that he is trying to stop this flood of blue units at home, he is raiding in the back of Hera's base. Hera can no longer go into his base. Never mind, right as I should really stop talking and just start, you know, pointing my mouse at things right as I say that. Oh man, Hera busts into the base. So both players are inside each other's bases. An eagle chasing a cav archer being chased by a knight. Knights and town center will eventually clean up these eagles. They are at a +1/+2, which means they can take a pounding from a town center. And now Mr. Yo's expeditionary force, distractionary force, I should say, is dead. And Hera is still here. Hera, like I said, I suspected it was a tactical retreat, not a full-on retreat, and I was right. Eagles take a bit more damage here. But, I mean, is this really the best use of knights? What is Hera waiting for, I wonder? Is he just trying to overwhelm and mass units here? You're not going to outpace a Incan with 5 barracks in Castle Age. Remember, 25% off food prices. All food items must go. They are now all cheaper. Eagles are cheaper. Pike are cheaper. No militia line units for him. No slingers. No Kamayuks. But the 2 units he is building are cheaper in terms of food count. And let's see it. I mean, the Scorpion's doing a good amount of damage on these cav archers. The Eagles have engaged here. There's not much that the Knights are going to be able to do there. Remember, again, the Eagles +3 attack bonus against cavalry means they're not bad at all at taking down Knights. And these cav archers, there's not much that they can do. Hera's army is getting swarmed. Holy moly, Mr. Yo. 5 barracks, a converted knight. We've got our first Incan knight of the day. What's the HP on this? How long do we expect him to stay alive? 36 HP, but he is heading back to how many monks? 0 monks. Third town center going up for our Incan. Love the location. Let's take a look at Hera's base, by the way. In the meantime, we have 3 town centers along a bit of an axis. How many stables? Just 2 stables, 1 archery range, a blacksmith, and then a whole bunch of houses. I love the positioning of all these houses because the villagers can literally just run in anywhere and everywhere. Might want to add a few houses here next to the lumber jacks. We got 2 mangonels. Oh, hoo, hoo. This is the moment Hera says, okay, you know what? Let's slow down the pace of the game a bit. I'm going to get a few economic upgrades. I've got 82 villagers. It makes sense to get wheelbarrow now. Mr. Yo, off the back of 65, still doesn't have wheelbarrow. Oh, man, this Scorpion is just getting so much done. Should have... Wow, 5 kills. Not something we see. The longevity of a Scorpion, never really a big thing. They usually get sniped pretty quickly. And now, Mr. Yo, we know the Hydra maneuver. He is going to attack in multiple locations at once. If I'm going to, let's say, not guarantee it, but I'm going to predict it. And let's see if I'm right. Ooh, mangonel shot, not the greatest. That one does more bad than good. Holy shit, he just killed 2 of his own knights. Oh, that third shot was fantastic. Does end up losing both mangonels, though. Do they have a bonus against siege? I didn't see. Yes, they do. +3 as well. The Eagle Warrior, just a well-rounded unit on the whole. Not too sure why he's running away from a few light cav, especially when they're +1/+1. And Mr. Yo says, forget your infrastructure here. I am moving south. I am going to penetrate. I'm going to attack into your base. And let's see you defend. Let's see you on the defensive. Scorpion says, nah, never mind, guys. I'm going to turn around. And I'm going to attack this house. 4th town center for our Incan right underneath the nose of the... Oh, no. Yeah, for sure when he starts constructing it, though, right? The villagers are going to have to spread out. Another monk. Another knight. Nope. Now he's going after... Oh, he's going after... He doesn't know what he's going after. He went after the cav archer and he got it. Not a bad trade, a monk for a cav archer. And this is what I'm talking about. This is Mr. Yo's Hydra style. Now he's poking, prodding. He also, by the way, sees the stables going down. Oh my god, he still doesn't see it. I thought for sure one of the villagers would have entered into this line of sight. 1 tile away. That is sour for Hera. Does not catch wind that there's another town center here. Although probably when they go get the gold, if they go get the gold, these ones on the right, he'll see that. Let's keep an eye out on his vision because I don't know. Focus in on silly things. There he goes. So he sees the villagers. He doesn't see the town center, though. Okay. So now Mr. Yo is pulling a few knights off the beaten track here. 6 of them pulled to the east. Eagles and pike here to the center. And then a bit more of a force here to the west. So I guess I was kind of right. This isn't really a very huge multi-pronged attack. He's not really attacking. Okay, never mind. I was right. He's moving in with all 3 army groups. Knights on the low ground have to be careful. Man, oh man. Hera is engaging into basically death circles here. He's got to be so careful. If he does not micro his units, his cavalry, those pike, those eagles are going to swarm over everything. Mr. sees all of these structures, by the way. His pike are heading west. There's a mangonel in here. When it pops out, we'll see. Oh, is he going to save it to attack the monk? Is he going to notice? Eagles get another knight. But the overwhelming numbers here for Hera mean that he does clean this up. And that's it. 3 army attack groups are basically whittled down. Oh, Hera didn't notice. Could have been a good attack round there. 3 army groups are now 2. Is he going to get the villager? Probably, right? One more poke, one more prod. Oh, the knight comes in and saves the villager's life. He owes that knight a pint of ale at the local tavern. Eagles now destroying. Look at how many villagers Mr. Yo has killed. 27 villagers. But Hera has survived. Hera still has, despite losing 29 villagers, is still ahead 20 villagers. Army counts identical. No, the siege workshop is being left alone. Not for long, though. The castle, does it touch the siege workshop? Kind of looks like it does, right? Here? Well, we'll find out soon enough. Mr. still here with a few eagles. 5 kills, probably all economic. Hera sees the castle, the mangonel popping out. Oh, good attack rounds there out of our Khmer. And we are now entering a very dangerous stage of the game for both players. Mr. Yo has to be incredibly careful not to get outmaneuvered, I was going to say, by these incredibly fast units. And then, of course, right as I say that, they tether themselves to a mangonel that moves at a 0.6. Oh, man, I could really say the sky is blue and it would start raining immediately. So Mr. Yo has to be careful of these incredibly fast maneuverable units that are going to snipe the monk. Snipe the monk. On the other hand, Hera has to be careful by this. The Kamayuk is out. Look at the size of his spear. Overcompensating for something much? Man, oh man, is that spear going to do a lot of damage. But he's on the low ground. There's a castle being placed here for Hera. So Hera needs to be careful of run-bys of eagles and Kamayuks. Mr. Yo has to be careful of run-by of light cav, hussars, and knights. Although hussars not yet. We are still in Castle Age. Hopefully we are lucky enough to reach Imperial. This has been a fantastic game so far. 40 minutes in, we're at about 300 kills. 330 kills. Castle's finally going up for both players. Hera is, though, only halfway done. Has cleared up Mr. Yo, but Mr. Yo being so annoying, dividing his Eagle Scouts left to right. And you guys know, whenever I cast the game with Eagle Scouts, I always caution, I always warn, wall yourself in. There is no point in leaving your base completely open so that a whole bunch of Eagles can run amok with their insane Pierce Armor. And speaking of Pierce Armor, with the Andean Sling upgrade, or no, what the hell am I talking about? Andean Sling Fabric Shields upgrade. What does it jump to? A plus, I think it jumps up to 10 Pierce Armor on an Eagle Warrior. So the Mayans Eagle comes with more HP. The Aztecs pack a punch with their Garland Wars. And the Incans do come with a lot more armor, which might prove pretty bad here for Hera. If he's going to get a double, he's doubling down on Cav Archers. That is going to be problematic if we see the Fabric Shields upgrade. For now, a bunch of Kamayuks confused, not sure where to go, what to do. Why are they entering town center fire? They are poking in a prod and getting villagers. Okay, not terrible. I mean, what else are you going to do with these three units at the same time? Siege Workshop finally down. The second of two houses is about to collapse. But here we go. A wall off already in place here for Mr. Yo. So, aside from 11 dead villagers, this is not going to do much damage to his base. Unless Hera doubles down, gets all stubborn, and decides to bust his way in. 11 villagers have become 6, have become 5, and now the Eagles are here. Hera heading up to Imperial. Is this open? Is this open? What the hell? Why is that open? Oh no. Mr. Yo offensive capabilities are done. He is now sitting on 13 Eagles, 4 Pike. He is building a third castle, a second one having been built up here. So he knows that the Hussar raid is real out of our Khmer. And when his opponent hits Imperial in a minute, he's going to be patting himself on the back saying, yeah, thank God I built those castles there. But there's no castle here. And this is 19 army supply. Wow, about 40% of Hera's army is in the back of Mr. Yo's base. The other supply is straight here in the front, but they are entering into a castle firing zone. Mr. Yo getting iron casting. Those Eagles are going to pack a punch, but might want to focus on armor upgrades, which, you know what, never mind. He's got fully armored upgrade. In a minute 46, he'll probably get the last, and the Kamayuks are slowly making their way over here. Hera establishing himself in front of Mr. Yo's base with a castle. All 19 army supply is still here, but Hera's not really finding damage. This is 19 army supply that's not really doing much. And the Scorpion, is this still the same Scorpion? No, okay. Oh, if that was the same Hero Scorpion, that would have been my thumbnail for this video. Hero Scorpion. And look at this. Hera's trapped. He is absolutely trapped. Who will take the better fight here? Hera is on the high ground. These Eagles have to be careful. The Scorpion is here, but the Kamayuks have made their way slowly but surely. Oh, 2 of them moved to intercept here. 1 poke, 2 poke, 3 poke. 4 poke, 5 poke. A castle. Hera's army is trapped, but Mr. Yo sees Hussars and must be shaking his head. Parthian tactics, chemistry, blast furnace, more and more upgrades, making Hera's army about as powerful as it can be. I mean, head-on fight. Mr. Yo takes this handily. The problem for him is he's got to actually catch Hera's army, and Hera's army is all cavalry-based. Oh, no. That's what I meant, head-on. This army is absolutely squishable by the Kamayuks, by the Eagle Warriors. No more pikemen left for our Incan. Doesn't really need them anymore. Has a good amount of resources. Remember, all of his units now cost 30% less food. That does include his unique unit. So let's see it. Like I said, doesn't really need pikemen. Elite Kamayuks. Hera, what is he selling? He's selling everything. He's going heavy cav archers. Not a bad choice. He's got 22 of them, but the hussars are really where you want to be. Wonder if he should have focused instead on the hussar armor upgrades. First Treb out for him, shelling away at the castle to the north. Where's Mr. Yo's Treb building? Probably here. Yep. Hera posturing, parading his hussars in front of Mr. Yo. Does Mr. Yo see? Yes, he did see them. The problem is, neither player can really engage into the other one. Hera can't really engage into Mr. Yo's literal porcupine army of these Kamayuks. And Mr. Yo can't really engage into Hera's because Hera will just run the hell away and this castle will have a field day just destroying. Remember, Kamayuks come with a 0 base pierce armor. Also looks like there's a Treb down here. I saw this castle light up on the mini-map, and here we go. Hera pulling a Mr. Yo with the Hydra strategy. A few hussars over here. A few hussars over here. But he's breaking up his army. The Kamayuks disappear. They're heading back. Upgrades. Fully armored upgrade. Full armor upgrades, rather. Oh, Mr. Yo loses a Treb. That is very sour. And now Hera, look at this. He's raiding to the left, to the center. But Mr. Yo's army moves forward. He says enough is enough. But this is what I mean. He can't really engage. Hera's army is just going to run away. This castle's just going to have a field day. Absolutely gunning down his units. These are heavy cav archers now. Oh, what an absolute unmitigated disaster here for Mr. Yo. Loses his entire army. Oh, no. And the Scorpion goes down as well. What? Oh. What the hell happened there? What the absolute hell happened here? So Hera sniped the Treb. It looks like with 14 cavalry units, 9 light cav, 5 knights. What are his upgrades? Fully upgraded cavalry. Mr. Yo, not yet fully upgraded infantry. Still missing blast furnace. Okay. At the same time, Hera's raiding to the back of his base. Let's see how many economic kills. Only 3. Okay, good reaction time by Mr. Yo, limiting, 18 hussars, fully upgraded, only getting 3 villagers. I'm assuming they'll get 1 or 2 more here, and then 1 or 2, oh, maybe not. This is already full. Oh, God, this is going to be a slaughter here. This village, think this villager, but all of these villagers. In any event, who cares about the civilians? Let's take a look at the military and see what the hell happened here. So Hera sniped the Treb. Took a bunch of damage to his units. Loses a hussar as well. He's going to snipe the second Treb, maybe? Maybe not. I thought there were villagers here. No, there aren't. There's the pike. Okay, so I was focused so much on the Treb that I didn't notice what happened. So the Treb survives, which is fantastic news for Mr. Yo, who chooses this moment to move forward with his Kamayuks, who, by the way, don't have fabric shields. Oh, no. And now let's look at their HP. At 1,086 they start with, and here we go. Hera just moves away. All he has to do, meat shield to the front, cav archers to the back, castle having the time of its life. Focusing these eagles down, at least initially, so they don't get the Treb, but doesn't really care about the Treb anymore. He knows he's going to kill this army. Never mind. Focuses on it later. And this is just an absolute disaster for Mr. Yo. Just an absolute disaster. He engages straight into the castle. Maybe he got a little antsy in the pantsy. Maybe he got a little impatient. But his entire army gets wiped out. And then the cherry on top of the sundae, the Scorpion. Yikes, what a horrible engage. And that's exactly why I said these players cannot engage into one another. The cavalry cannot engage into a forest of Kamayuks. And the Kamayuks can't engage into cavalry. So, defender's advantage on a major scale, and Mr. Yo going on the offensive paid the price, has his entire army wiped out. Looks like he took a good amount of units with him, though. Straight to hell, says Mr. Yo, as his army dies, their spears lying on the ground. Let's take a look at the stats. Peak APM, Mr. Yo, what? 12 seconds. Hera with his usual 2 to 300 right at the end of the game. Hussars, which for a long time were light cav. Eagle Warriors 133 economically. What do we think? Oh, come on, look at that. Mr. Yo, as usual, pinched 3 relics, has an extra castle's worth of stone, but look at the rest. 10,000 less food, 17,000 less food, or sorry, 10,000 less wood, 17,000 less food. Not that he needs it, remember, with his military units costing 30% less, and gold counts about the same, so lucky for him he got these relics, otherwise the disparity would be much bigger. Conversions, also nothing to write home about. Let's take a look at kill count. Hera, 312 kills, not a surprise with these cav archers that he babysat basically the entire game since hitting castle. Villager kills, very interesting towards the end of the game. Hera managed to get 42 kills, Mr. Yo 50, not a huge difference. And Mr. Yo himself, 193 kills, no surprise there with the infantry getting fewer kills than the quicker ranged units. But like I said, what an absolute battle of patience, of positioning, and ultimately Mr. Yo pulled the trigger and rolled the dice, I guess would be a more accurate. I mean, when you pull the trigger, you know the bullet's going to fire. This is more rolling the dice. And unfortunately, he's 7 out. Lost his entire army. What does he have left? 4 Kameyuks, 2 pikemen, a Treb, and a Dream. The castle here to the south also fell. The castle to the north also fell. He's building another one here, but I don't know, to secure 1,300 gold. Not too sure that's the best investment or location for it. Hera raiding to the back. Ultimately, it is our Khmer who manages to outmaneuver, out-yo-yo by attacking into multiple locations, and Mr. Yo just takes an absolute disaster of an engage and ultimately taps out. Hera is victorious, but GG to both players. Did you enjoy this video? Check out these other clips and make sure to subscribe and enable notifications so that you're notified of my latest uploads.